What if I told you that just 7 days could bring you more clarity, more calm, and a deeper sense of connection to yourself? In the rush of modern life, we've been taught to go faster, work harder, and chase more. But in that endless pursuit, we've lost something sacred: presence, peace, purpose. Meanwhile, in Japan, centuries-old habits continue to quietly transform lives. They're not loud, not flashy, but they're powerful, because they don't just change what you do, they change how you live. Now, picture this. You wake up and your mind feels clear. You walk through your day with intention, not urgency. Your surroundings are peaceful, your choices aligned, and even the smallest moments feel meaningful. That's the power of these 10 Japanese habits, and over the next 7 days, you'll try each one. They're simple, they're practical, and they might just be the reset your life's been waiting for. Stick around until the end, because I have a challenge for you that could shift your mindset forever. Habit 1. Mushin, the art of the empty mind. Let me ask you something. When was the last time your mind was truly quiet? No mental to-do lists, no self-criticism, no overanalyzing what they said, or what you should have said. Just silence. Mushin, literally translated as no mind, is one of the most misunderstood yet powerful concepts in Japanese philosophy. It's not about emptying your thoughts like erasing a chalkboard. It's about letting go of the constant mental noise that clutters your focus and drains your energy. Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a still lake. You throw in a stone, your thoughts and the ripples spread. But if you wait, the water settles again, clear, silent, undisturbed. That is Mushin. It's practiced by Zen monks during meditation, but it's also the secret weapon of martial artists who must respond with precision, not panic. And it can be your tool for peace in a world that's constantly asking for your reaction. We live in an age of overstimulation, buzzing phones, endless scrolling, a mind always multitasking. But the truth is, not every thought deserves your attention. Not every emotion requires your reaction. Try this right now. Sit. Close your eyes. And for 5 minutes, don't do anything. Don't reach for your phone. Don't try to meditate perfectly. Just exist. Breathe. Notice the noise. And let it float by like clouds in the sky. You'll feel the itch, the urge to check something, the thoughts screaming for attention. That's the detox. That's Mushin. And here's the twist. You don't need a monastery to feel it. You can practice Mushin while washing the dishes, walking down the street, or sitting in traffic. The point isn't where you are, it's how still you are inside. Between stimulus and response, there is a space, said Viktor Frankl. Mushin is that space. It's where peace lives. Day challenge. The next time something stresses you out, a rude comment, a mistake, an unexpected problem, pause. Take 5 silent minutes before reacting. Let the lake settle. You'll find that your response isn't just calmer, it's wiser. Have you ever experienced a moment of complete stillness when your mind just let go? Comment below. When was the last time you truly felt present? No distractions, just you and the moment. And if that question made you pause, maybe it's time to slow down with intention. I share videos just like this, about living gently, mindfully, and meaningfully. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and let's breathe through this journey together. Habit 2, Oubaitori. Stop comparing yourself. Cherry, plum, peach, apricot, all trees, all beautiful, non-competing. That's the quiet wisdom of Oubaitori. A reminder that just because someone blooms before you doesn't mean your spring won't come. We live in a world addicted to comparison. Social media makes it worse. You see someone your age traveling the world, buying a home, building a perfect body, a perfect relationship, a perfect life, and you wonder, am I behind? Am I enough? But let's step back. Think of a Japanese garden. A cherry tree blossoms in March, a plum tree in April, the peach later. And the apricot? Sometimes it waits until early summer. Do we ever say the apricot is late? Of course not. Oubaitori is a reminder that every life unfolds in its own divine rhythm. So why do we keep punishing ourselves for unblooming on someone else's schedule? There's no timeline for becoming who you are. Your struggles, your detours, your pauses, they're not signs of failure. They're chapters in a story only you can write. And that story doesn't need to look like anyone else's to be beautiful. Comparison is the thief of joy, and Oubaitori is the guardian of your peace. This week, try something radical. Instead of asking, why am I not there yet? Ask, what makes my path worth walking? Every day, open a journal or just the notes app on your phone and write down one unique trait, experience, or value that makes your life yours. Not someone else's. Yours. It could be your resilience, your curiosity, your quiet kindness, the way you always listen, the way you're still standing. Celebrate what makes you, you. Day, challenge. Write down one thing that makes your journey different and deeply valuable. Then close your eyes and picture a garden full of trees, each one blooming at its own pace. That's you. That's your story. Let it bloom. Habit 3. Hara Hachi Bu. Eat until you're 80% full. What if living longer didn't come from adding but from stopping sooner? In Okinawa, Japan, a region known for having one of the highest concentrations of centenarians in the world, there's no trendy diet, no calorie counting, no guilt, just one quiet phrase whispered before every meal. Hara Hachi Bu. Eat until you are 80% full. Not stuffed, not can move, just satisfied. But this is more than a habit. It's a philosophy of moderation, mindfulness, and deep respect for the body. Imagine this. Halfway through your next meal, you pause, you put your fork down, you breathe, and you ask, am I eating because I'm hungry or just because I always finish what's on the plate? For most of us, food isn't just food, it's comfort, it's reward, it's habit, but rarely presence. Harachi Buu teaches us that the moment of enough often comes before we expect it. And by learning to notice it, we train not just our bodies, but our minds to be content with less, to slow down, and to trust that we don't need to fill every space to feel full. Think of this habit as decluttering for your appetite, not just for health, but for life. Because fullness isn't always nourishment, and just enough might be exactly what your body and your soul have been asking for. Day challenge. During your next meal, pause at the halfway point, ask yourself, am I truly still hungry? Or am I just on autopilot? If the answer surprises you, listen. Then stop at 80%. Feel the difference. Habit 4. Kakeibo. Mindful spending, peaceful living. Imagine if every time you spent money, you actually felt more aligned. Not guilt, not impulse, but peace. That's the quiet power of Kakeibo, an old Japanese method of mindful spending. But make no mistake, this isn't just budgeting, it's financial intention. In a world that constantly screams, buy more to be more, Kakeibo gently asks, do I need this? Will it bring me lasting joy? It turns your wallet into a mirror. Every yen or dollar you spend becomes a reflection of your values, your needs, your habits, and your future. Here's how it works. Before every purchase, pause. Take a breath and write it down. That alone creates space, just like the pause before replying in a conversation. Suddenly, you're not just reacting, you're choosing. Over time, you start to see the patterns. Why do I always buy when I'm stressed? Why do I spend more when I feel empty? Why does this item, which promised happiness, already feel invisible? Kakeibo turns unconscious spending into self-discovery, because true wealth isn't how much you earn, it's how aligned your spending is with the life you actually want. You see a new mug online. It's beautiful, minimalist. You deserve it, the ad says. Instead of clicking buy now, you grab your notebook, you write it down, then ask, do I need this? Will I still value it in a month? Or is it just filling a silence I don't want to feel? Sometimes you'll still buy it, but sometimes you won't. And that pause, that's the moment you took your power back. Day challenge. Track every purchase you make today, just for today. And beside each one, write why. Not to judge yourself, but to understand yourself. Because where your money goes, your life follows. So many of us spend without thinking, then wonder where our peace went. Let's be real. What's the last thing you bought that didn't bring real joy? Comment below. No judgment, just awareness. Habit 5. Nagomi. Finding inner peace. When was the last time you felt soft inside? Not numb, not distracted, but gently calm? That feeling has a name in Japanese. Nagomi. It means to soothe, to harmonize, to gently return to your center, like a lake that stills after a storm. In a world that's constantly pulling you into urgency, Nagomi is the quiet rebellion. It doesn't shout. It whispers, you're safe. You can breathe. You can come back to yourself now. Nagomi isn't a place, it's a moment. It can be 10 minutes of silent tea before emails. It can be a candle you light just for the scent. It can be watching the wind play with the trees outside your window. The beauty of Nagomi is that it doesn't demand anything fancy. It just asks, what makes you feel whole again? Picture this, you're overwhelmed. Notifications blinging, deadlines looming, but then you step away. You put your phone on airplane mode, you sit, you hold a warm mug of tea, and for 10 minutes, no fixing, no striving, you just exist. That's Nagomi. In those sacred few minutes, you soften the sharp edges of the day. You don't escape life, you return to it with more clarity, more compassion, more you. Day challenge. Create your Nagomi ritual. Just 10 minutes, every day. It can be a mindful walk, a slow stretch with no music, breathing deeply while looking out the window. Then protect this ritual. Guard it like it's sacred. Because it is. Peace doesn't arrive. You make it. We all need a small moment of calm in our day. Nagomi helps us find it. Tell me, what's one simple ritual that instantly brings you peace? Light a candle? A quiet walk? Share it below. And if you're craving more quiet moments like this, don't forget to subscribe. This channel is your space to slow down, simplify, and reconnect with what matters. Habit 6. Enso. The sacred circle of now. There's a circle, but it's not just a circle. It's called Enso. Drawn with one single stroke. No edits, no do-overs, just you, your breath, and the brush. This simple act, practiced by Zen monks for centuries, holds a powerful truth. The present moment, imperfect, unfiltered, is enough. Try this tomorrow morning. Grab a pen, a marker, a paintbrush, whatever you have. Take one slow breath. Exhale, and draw a circle in one fluid motion. It won't be perfect, that's exactly the point. Enso isn't about making art, it's about meeting yourself exactly as you are. Every day, we chase perfection, we hesitate, we redo, we fear mistakes. But Enso teaches you to act, to create, to flow forward without needing control. That imperfect circle on paper, it's a mirror of your inner world. Messy, beautiful, alive, you're having a chaotic day. Your mind is racing. You pause, you draw an Enso, and suddenly you've returned to your breath, to your body, to now. No past to fix, no future to fear, just a sacred moment in ink. Day challenge. Draw one Enso each morning. It only takes 10 seconds, but those 10 seconds could teach you more about peace, acceptance, and flow than 1,000 books. One breath, one stroke. Let go. Habit 7. Asa Geiko. Start your day like a master. Before the world wakes, the masters are already moving. This is Asa Geiko, morning practice. In Japan, martial artists, calligraphers, and musicians rise with the sun to train. Not for glory, but for presence, for discipline, for love of the craft. Here's what makes mornings sacred. The world is still. No pings, no noise, no pressure. It's just you and what truly matters. And how you start the day, that's how you carry the rest of it. Now imagine this. You wake up 30 minutes earlier than usual. There's no rush, just soft light and silence. You stretch, you journal, you read one chapter, you practice something you love before the world demands anything of you. That's not a routine, that's a ritual. Your brain is at its sharpest in the morning. Your habits are more likely to stick. And when you give your first hour to something meaningful, you tell the rest of the day, I lead, not life. A Japanese potter begins each day forming clay at dawn. No distractions, just repetition, intention, peace. It's not about perfection, it's about rhythm. Showing up, sharpening your spirit. Day challenge, wake 30 minutes earlier. No phone, no emails, just one focused activity. Stretching, sketching, meditating, reading. Protect that space. Let it become your foundation. Because the way of the master always begins at sunrise. Imagine what your life could look like if your mornings were sacred instead of rushed. Drop a comment. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? And what would you want it to be instead? Habit 8. Kintsugi meditation. Honor your cracks. What if the things you hide were the things that made you whole? Kintsugi is the Japanese art of mending broken pottery with gold, not to cover the cracks, but to celebrate them. To say, this broke, I healed, and now I'm even more beautiful. Now, ask yourself, what cracked in your day today? A moment of frustration? A small failure? A word you wish you hadn't said? Don't ignore it, don't shame it, gold it, make it sacred. Kintsugi meditation is this. Each night, take 5 minutes, sit in stillness, and write down one imperfect moment. Then ask, what did it teach me? Where is the gold in this? You're not broken, you're becoming art. We're taught to chase perfection, to erase our mess. But growth lives in the cracks, and healing begins when we look at our flaws and see value. Just like a kintsugi bowl, you become stronger at the broken places. You snapped at someone, you forgot something, you felt insecure. Write it, name it, then seal it with gold. This showed me I need rest. This reminded me to slow down. This made me more patient tomorrow. Day challenge. Tonight, write down one crack from your day, big or small, and beneath it, write how it made you wiser, softer, stronger. Don't hide your scars. Turn them into your masterpiece. Habit 9. Hibino Kancha. Daily gratitude in simplicity. Gratitude doesn't need fireworks. It whispers. It lives in the steam of your morning tea, the way the light hits your floor, the sound of quiet after a long day. In Japan, Hibino Kancha means exactly that. Appreciating the small, everyday moments, not for being extraordinary, but simply for being there. You're not waiting for the big raise, the perfect partner, or the dream house, you're noticing what's already beautiful and always has been. Start like this every morning, before your phone, before the world rushes in. Write down 3 small things you're grateful for. Not goals, not achievements, just the warm socks, the way your coffee smells, the fact that you woke up. Gratitude grounds you. It takes your mind out of anxiety and into the now. It rewires your brain to see abundance, even in simplicity. When you practice Hibino Kancha, you realize your life was never lacking. It was just waiting to be noticed. The way my dog blinked slowly at me. My partner's sleepy good morning. The silence after rain. Small but real. Ordinary but sacred. Day challenge. No phone in the morning until you've written down 3 simple things you're thankful for. You'll be amazed how this tiny ritual softens your entire day. Because joy doesn't come from getting more, but from noticing more. Habit 10. Shisakao. Point and call. It looks strange, it sounds silly, but it might just save your focus and your peace of mind. Shisakao is a practice used by Japanese train conductors. Before they move a lever or open a door, they point at it and say out loud what they're doing. Signal green, track clear, doors locked. Why? Because it forces the brain to engage with the moment, visually, physically, and verbally. In a world full of distractions, Shisakao is a weapon of mindfulness. Imagine this. You're leaving home, scattered and late. Instead of rushing out the door, wondering, did I lock it? You pause, you point at the door, you say, locked, and your mind goes, got it. Here's why it works. It prevents autopilot mistakes. It builds micro moments of awareness throughout your day. It literally trains your attention to stay rooted in the present. Try it like this. Keys in my hand, stove off, email sent, focus on. Yes, you'll feel a little weird, but weird is memorable. Day challenge. Use point and call 3 times today. At home, work, or anywhere in between. Notice how it brings clarity and calm to even the most rushed routines. Because in the end, presence isn't about meditating on a mountain. It's about learning to be where you are, even while turning off the oven. These 10 habits aren't just traditions. They're invitations to slow down, to simplify, to reconnect with what really matters. Try them for just 7 days, and you won't just feel more calm. You'll feel more you, more present, more peaceful, more powerful in your own quiet way. So tell me in the comments, which habit surprised you the most? Which one felt like it was made for you? And if this video made something inside you breathe a little deeper, share it with someone who's been running on empty. Someone who needs a little less chaos and a little more Nagomi. Until next time, live gently, live wisely, live Japanese.